owner LLC and has been a proud supporter of all of our shows. So we're really happy to have you.
Thanks. It's great to be here. It's good to
Tell
see
us.
you. And
So let us presume that only a few people who have not heard of you are out there. So kind of tell us your story. How did you get here today?
how did I get here today? I started out. I mean, I started my spiritual journey in like 2013. I mean, raised uh, from Baptist to Pentecostal Christian. It never really felt right. So started exploring different alternatives and paths, and found out I could do magic.
Mm.
Scrying, not anything, really big. A lot of scrying, a lot of divination, tarot card readings, and things of that nature. But it got me really exploring what spirituality is. Um, and I'm a literal information sponge. I'm always excited and happy about learning about new things, things that I don't know, and just gaining more knowledge. So I got invited by Earl Williams to join him as a co-host on
Hmm.
Iowa Pagan News Radio, and I did that with him. We started that back in 2020. We did a couple of interviews, and COVID hit, and things kind of went south. Um, he got really ill, and on his recovery, on his way back, he was like, "I'd like to start doing the shows again." I was like, "Great, let's do it." So we started doing them again. And one of the interviewees that we had was Terry Ireland, the former owner of the Metaphysical Times newspaper. And she'd been running it for about a year. It was going well, but she was running out of the energetic capacity to maintain it and keep it going. And so she just kind of had a thought that maybe, instead of shutting it down, she might try and sell it to someone that could take it through the next leg of its journey. Um, So we interviewed her. She mentioned that. I followed up after the interview because as an author and having my publishing company and online bookstore, Twisted Souls Press, there were ways that I could work with her and help, spread the word, sell the newspaper, sell advertising space, and so on. I got this smack in the back of my head at the end of that call that was like, ask about the sale. Now, mind you, I'm not in any real, super position to be able to just go and buy businesses here and there. We're working on that, but we weren't quite there yet.
Hmm.
But I mean, the universe was like, do it,
Gotcha.
and
And
it
so,
wasn't just, I mean, it was like a poke in the back with a stick or with a sword. Do it or
hmm.
walk the plank, do it or walk, yeah, kind of thing. So we asked, and a few weeks later, we actually became the new owners of Metaphysical Times LLC.
And that's where we're here today. So, what is the Metaphysical Times?
It's a media company, basically. We're looking at all kinds. It started out as just a newspaper in print,
Hmm.
and it had a global reach when we took it over. Um, we were already available in Ireland, Scotland, and when we brought our team on, we expanded that reach to Australia, and then we had they were already in Ireland, Scotland, and India. When we came on, we brought Australia and have since added uh, the UK and Canada.
Okay.
So
So,
there's growth, um, and that's readership. That's not like distribution or anything like that. That's just where we have people that read the newspaper.
and what type
Um,
of subjects do you cover?
we tried to do a lot of more newsy based stuff, but what we publish what we get, and that's a lot of personal experiences and practices, perspectives on particular
Hmm.
uh, types of craft, different spells, rituals, um, and I think that really we've kept that because it's what connects people. It's what it's always great to have information and perspectives that aren't exactly our own.
Mhm.
Being able to look and see, hey, somebody does the same thing I do, but they do it a little bit differently. That's kind of cool.
Mhm.
So we have a lot of that in there, but we also do like interviews with business owners and authors and artists of all kinds. And we're currently doing coverage of the Red album. Uh,
Well, for those who don't know what the Red Album is, what is the Red Album?
the Red album is an album that is coming out this June. Its inception was on the day that Roe versus Wade was overturned. A
Mhm.
group of musicians were at an event together, and the news broke, and they were like, "Oh man, that could be this could be really really bad." There were a lot of people that were angry. There were a lot of people that feel very passionately about our ability to decide what's best for us reproductively. And so the idea for an album that would support reproductive rights, and in the process of that, support abortion, support reproductive health, maintaining birth control, awareness for things like birth control for men and women. It also dabbles a little bit into the area of LGBTQ reproductive rights. Kind of fall
Okay.
into, that those rights should be protected also.
Right.
So the album is
So
coming
so you
out.
and so you're covering this.
We're covering it. Yeah, we're doing
Oh,
interviews with all of the
good.
artists. We're helping promote their GoFundMe and their fundraisers and things like that in the newspaper and the magazine.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to do. So another thing that you're covering. So stories that people provide you, people that kind of all kind of out there and everything else. And then how is this magazine delivered? How
How is it
is it?
delivered?
Yeah, do you buy subscriptions? Is it a physical? Is it electronic? Is it all the above? How do
It's
people get
all of
hold
the
of this?
It's all of the above. We do digital. I mean, we do digital and print copies individually.
Mhm.
We do subscription of either or, print or digital for both the magazine and the newspaper. The
Mhm.
magazine is monthly, so that's our most
Mhm.
consistent. I say consistent. It's the most frequent release that we have, and we do creative works in that one. That's short fiction pieces, personal experiences, actual artwork, and things like that. The more creative side of the metaphysical community gets published in the magazine, um, and that's done on a monthly basis. But yeah, we do print, we do digital of both. Our printer is actually located in Paris, France. We had to go a really long way to find a printer that would align with us as far as environmental impacts go. Um, so we took a print hiatus for most of 2022 after we bought it, until we could find printers that would be in alignment with um,
Mhm.
our belief that it's our job to be stewards and protectors of the environment. And the printer that we used previously was not a front of mind for them. Um, so we found one, and we started printing again in February of this year.
Oh, terrific. And so you can go to metaphysical-times.com to find out how you can buy a copy, get some back copies, or ever, take a look at what they're doing. So, in developing this, you've mentioned now as you're doing it out, you also have, as typical of magazine and newspaper, you would have ads and ways to promote. Can you
Right.
talk about that?
We are, I mean, we are a newspaper and a magazine, and we do survive heavily or rely heavily on ads. But for us, it's more about being able to promote people. So we have a longer list of promotional opportunities. Like we do press releases. We have our online directory and classified ad listings. Those are free. You can send us your business name, contact information, and a link to your page, and we'll backlink right to you, so that when people come looking for services or products, um, and visit our website, they can go to either one of those listings and find the people, places, and things that they need, which is like our tagline. And it's free. Now, the pay comes in if you want it to be in the newspaper and the magazine, but on our website, it's always free, and we're always happy to do whatever we can to help people promote and get the word out about who they are, what they're doing, and where people can find them. We also do, like I said, press releases. We publish those. If somebody sends us, they've got a new release or something coming, they send us the information and we publish it in one of our platforms, in print and digital, and on our website if we can work that out. And then we have interview opportunities. We have a questionnaire you can go in and download. And we've got different ones for the different types of business owners. We've got authors, musicians, we've got business owners, and we've got visual artists. Basically, you download the questionnaire, fill it out, upload it back to us, send us any images that you have to go with it, or we can pull our own. And then we do a whole spread in the newspaper about, and in some cases, we've done actual two-page centerfold spread interviews on people. And it's really, I mean, it's really effective, and it's free. It's an absolutely free opportunity. We would just love the opportunity to be able to do that for more people. The new print version of the newspaper is almost 3 times the size of what it was when we were printing it last year. So we've got lots of space to fill. And as much as we want to be able to fill it with ads, we would prefer to fill it with telling people, helping businesses, especially new starts, people that are just getting started and kind of, need a little bit extra visibility right in the beginning when it really would serve a lot of us better. Come do an interview. Send us a press release. Send us the information for the directory or a classified ad. If you've got a special offer, send it to us. We can do discount code exchanges. We've got an affiliate program that's chock full of opportunities for us to be able to help each other grow visibly, and you make a little bit of cash on the side for sending people our way. We've got so many ways that I'm really working hard to kind of try to turn the idea that we're just an advertising agency on its head. We are an advertising agency, but we're more about doing the free end of things, so that you quickly get to a point where you can pay for an ad, and that serves the community all the better.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think with such a large and growing community, because if you have looked at the numbers, there's all sorts of numbers out there, and I'm not going to try. I mean, I can give you a sampling of them, but the big number I think that most people don't realize is that there's an opportunity into the tens of millions of people who are just curious about all this material. So it's a matter of reaching them, but at the same time, for individuals to develop. I'm a big Kelly fan, and he has the idea of 1,000 true fans. If you have 1,000 true fans who will buy what you are presenting, pay attention to what you do, you can build a base, you can build a life that you choose. And so sounds like that you're trying to help people with some of that aspect.
Absolutely. I mean, there's the belief for us that, when you take care of people, they take care of you. And I've experienced that as an author. I mean, there have been days that I've been, it's not been an easy path. Being an author is probably, one of the hardest paths a person could take.
Now, you mentioned being an author. So what have you authored?
I actually currently have 4 books published, 3 short stories, and my debut novel, Death of a Secret. Let me just, if we can plug that in here real quick.
I remember when we started this, that was one of the things. Okay, Death Secret.
That's me right there. It's a great story. It's a psychological thriller. I write mostly dark fiction as a book author. My stuff will have more dark undertone, horror, thrillers, psychological thrillers, those kind of things. But
good.
Yeah, it's been a hard path. I mean, I chose to leave corporate to become an author, and I found fairly quickly that just being a no-name, author that nobody knew about, it was really, really hard to make ends meet. There were times that, I lost my place to live, lost, my vehicle and things
Hmm.
like that. I would rather be able to say maybe 10 or 20 years from now, I had a hand in changing that for people. That's my ultimate goal. I don't want people starting and going through the struggles that I went through. I want them to be able to start out the gate with plenty of visibility, with people talking about them right from the gate. And the magazine and the newspaper are how I'm able to do that for more people.
Now, if I'm a store owner, how do I get your publications into my store?
We have a distribution program set up. We actually prefer people start out because the newspaper is kind of new. I mean, it's not new to us. It's been in circulation for about a year and just over a year now. But we aren't everywhere. We aren't, so we don't, and we went from being a paid paper previously before the print hiatus to one that's paid now. So we don't want people to just like come in and start buying 20 copies. We actually prefer that they get started as an affiliate with us and see how the paper will do by just sending business our way. If it looks like it could benefit a shop, we're always happy to send copies if you're confident that you can sell all 20 in the first week or even during an entire cycle. We're happy to do that and set that up with you, and that can be done through the website. Down in the bottom in the footer, there's distribution. But we do really recommend that people do the affiliate program first to get an idea of how well the paper will sell for them before they invest in purchasing a large number of copies that they may or may not be able to move.
That makes some sense. I mean, it is a matter of, unlike some of the older days where you were able to do, um, what I would say, um, return them. You want to be able to do that. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we have a return. We're working on setting up a return program for them. We were
Hmm.
having them returned before, and it just
Hmm.
ended up being an extra cost for us for storing
Hmm.
the old
That makes
copies.
sense.
So we kind of tried to eliminate some of the costs, um, and that's something that we can touch on if we've got time for it. Um, we kind of changed things a little bit when we renewed our license this year and became what is called in Utah, we're called a benefits LLC.
A B Corp.
Um, Almost, yeah. We are working on our B corporation, on our
Oh,
B Corp
wow.
certification. We are working towards that.
Hmm.
Um, there are costs and things involved and things that we aren't quite in alignment with. That B Corp certification kind of pushes people towards. Um, but yeah, we're working on that. And one of the legal requirements for B certification was, I mean, it was already in our policies and procedures. It was already part of our business model.
Hmm.
But when we did the conversion this year to a benefit LLC, it really made it so that we're able to do a better job at making sure that our practices and our business model are in alignment with benefiting society as a whole, not just our business or our shareholders. Um, it's been
Yeah.
it's been a pretty incredible process.
Hmm.
And I'm
Well, that
looking
makes
forward to
sense.
seeing what we can do and how we can help. I mean, that's part of it. The whole thing is built so that, I mean, we're profitable. We aren't capped and limited to where, the way that a 501(c)(3) is. But we can work and run more like a a charitable organization
Hmm.
by making sure that we're setting up programs and services and things that bring money in, but they serve the community as a whole. They're serving everybody, not just the businesses that we're involved in. Um, so yeah, we're pretty excited about that.
I can
Um,
imagine that you are. Um, so with that, so let us go ahead and to a last thought. You're out there connecting with people, trying to make things going out there. Uh, you just brought out an issue. When's the next issue of either paper or magazine coming out?
Uh, Full Moon comes out every month on the first digitally.
Mhm.
Print for paid subscribers follows a couple of weeks after that. Um,
Mhm.
and then the newspaper, the next issue is we just released on the 9th, so 6 weeks from now.
Oh,
I'm not
good. So
looking at
they're
my
back.
calendar. The newspaper prints 8 times a year, every 6 weeks, based on the wheel of the year.
There you
So
go.
it's themed based on the wheel of the year. The most recent issue was Beltane. The next one will be Midsummer, and that will probably come out first week in June,
All
around
right.
about. It's a consistent 6 week cycle um, for the newspaper, and then we're working on, if we can get the content for it. We're working on trying to get together and put out a weekly newspaper.
Ooh.
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Um.
but
Yeah.
when you consider the numbers of people that are in the community, getting the content to do a weekly shouldn't be.
No, it's distribution of it.
The
Um.
distribution of it might be a little bit tougher,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I mean, we would start it out as digitally, so we wouldn't have to worry about doing print
That'd be that, and I
right
do
off the
believe in
bat, and give
digital.
us time to really build it so that it works for everybody that's involved. So yeah, and
All right.
submitting to us is fairly easy. It's free. Um, we use a third party app called Hey Publisher. We're
Mhm.
also available on our you can find us on through Duotrope also. So yeah, and then when you become a writer for us, there are a lot of perks and benefits that come with that.
Mhm.
In lieu of payment of cash, um, added visibility. We're growing constantly. We're working really really hard to get, you know, the visibility of the paper out to people.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, it's kind of a two-way street, an exchange basically of services. You're writing for us, we're putting the information out, and then we're also doing our part to really build the visibility of the newspaper and the magazine to help bring more
Mhm.
visibility to the people who write for us.
It sounds like it.
And then they get really excited and share the links and all of that when their articles get published. So it's working well.
It sounds like it, and it sounds like you're really building on something. All right, folks, that's the Daily Spell for today, and be back tomorrow. Blessed be.
Thanks, guys. Good night.